What was the Puritans' sacred agreement with God? If you're curious about the Puritans and their spiritual beliefs, you might be wondering what their sacred agreement with God was all about. Let's break it down. The Puritans believed in a concept called the covenant, which was essentially an agreement or contract between God and humanity. This idea was central to their theology and daily life. First, let's look at the two main types of covenants the Puritans talked about: the covenant of works and the covenant of grace. The covenant of works was seen as a pre-fall agreement between God and Adam, representing all of humanity. According to this covenant, if humans obeyed God's laws perfectly, they would receive eternal blessings and salvation. However, since Adam failed to keep this covenant, it was no longer a viable path to salvation. The covenant of grace, on the other hand, was based on God's mercy and love. This covenant was established through Jesus Christ and emphasized faith as the condition for salvation. The Puritans believed that this covenant was unconditional, meaning that humans did not earn it through their actions, but rather received it as a gift from God. They stressed that humans had to have faith and trust in God's gracious nature to be part of this covenant. In practical terms, the Puritans saw themselves as part of a covenant community. They believed that by entering into this covenant with God, they were not just individual believers, but also part of a larger community bound together by their shared faith. This community was expected to follow God's moral law, love one another, and uphold justice and mercy. For example, in John Winthrop's Model of Christian Charity sermon, the Puritans promised to follow God's laws and live as a community under his guidance. The Puritans also made specific covenants with each other and with God when they settled in America. These covenants were formal agreements where they pledged to walk together in God's ways and to live according to his teachings. They saw themselves as the new Israelites, with a special relationship with God that required them to live righteous lives. In essence, the Puritans' sacred agreement with God was about living a life of faith, obedience, and community. They believed that by being in this covenant relationship, they were fulfilling God's plan for their lives and ensuring their spiritual salvation. This covenant was not just a personal commitment, but also a communal one, binding them together as a people of God.